What's going on, goats? Welcome back to BooKoo Bucks. My name is Raymo, and today I'll be breaking down all the trades I took from this morning. Bear with me because there were quite a few trades that I did take, so I'm going to break them down one by one. So let's go ahead and first break down this first trade. To be honest, I did not take a screenshot of it. It was a loss, so I'm simply just bringing this up to be transparent with you guys and show you the loss that I did take. But for this one, I seen that price on the 4 hour made a new high. So at the time, I was perceiving this as a break of structure. I pulled out the fib from swing low to swing high, and price came down into discount. And also, price at the time took out this level of sell side liquidity. So now, if I zoom into the lower time frame, we can see here this is around the area that I was looking to long out of price and discount, and price taking out sell side liquidity, looking for price to react and go higher from here. So at this point, I was down on the 5 minute time frame, and on the 5 minute time frame, at the time again, I was perceiving this as a break of structure. Price made a higher high here, so this is the M5 low, the M5 high. Price made a higher low and then a higher high. So seeing price starting to make this type of pattern gave me the sign that price most likely wanted to continue going bullish. One thing I'll point out is usually I'm pretty strict on waiting for London to open up, but in this case, I decided to deviate from that idea. Ultimately, I probably should stay with it, but I also understand that there's definitely times where Asia is the session that ends up making the move, and then the London move is either too late to jump into, or London is just simply looking for a continuation to hop in on the train or hop in with the trend or order flow, whatever you want to call it, if that makes sense. So understanding that and seeing price starting to go bullish by making higher highs and higher lows, I was looking too long. Even when price broke underneath this low here, I was simply looking at this as a structural inducement. Why? Because again, my higher time frame analysis was bullish, and also the way price broke here, I was looking at that as more so an inducement rather than a break of structure. So by the time this happened, I went down to the 1 minute time frame to see if I could find an entry. And on the 1 minute time frame, I seen this wouldn't be a break of structure. This would be more of a change of character. I seen price make a new internal high here. And then I was trying to draw my fib from swing low to swing high. And as we see, price tapped the 50% and then started to push on higher. Even here, I was on a lower time frame trying to see if I can spot some details as well. Let's see if I can find it. Even here on the 15-second time frame, we had a 15-second high to a low, price made a higher high, and then pull back here. So I decided to take a long position somewhere here. And as we can see, price actually started to push on higher, which I was happy to see at the time. It looked like price wanted to continue to go higher, like I said. But then if you notice, price ended up running down lower and even taking out this low and Asia's low. So ultimately, it's always best to wait for London to open up, or to have at the very least, usually you'll notice that price likes to take out Asia's low or Asia's high. Again, it isn't a guarantee. That's why I decided to take this position because I understood it wasn't a guarantee that price would want to take out this low, but I understood exactly what I was getting myself into and really just trusting the bullish bias. This is basically why I took it. But ultimately here, I deviated from my rules a tad bit. I seen price. I didn't wait for price to open during London and then got stopped out here. Another reason why I was actually looking to long in this case was due to EU, which I'll save that for a minute right now. But I did utilize the fact of EU to help with my analysis as well in a weird way. But either way, I deviated from my plan. I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited, and I should have waited for price to take out Asia's low and then looking for longs here. Ultimately, the analysis was wrong. Price did kind of react from this area, but then price pushed on lower from here. So in my head, one, this was a bad trade in the sense of me deviating from my plan, and also the analysis wasn't very good because obviously price did not push on higher and make a new high. Price actually pushed on lower, making a new low. So there's just me being transparent with you guys, telling you guys how I lost in this case, and basically how my analysis was ultimately wrong. Um, and then let's go break down EU now because this is where I took my short. So on EU, let me zoom out and figure out where I was. On EU, Yes. So here, let's zoom back out to the daily time frame. I have been bullish, if you guys recall me breaking this down for the past week or so. Structure high, structure low, price made a higher high. I'm looking at this as a break of structure. Price pulls down into discount. I'm anticipating price to make new highs. So I bring it up because ultimately I want to look for longing opportunities rather than shorts. If I do find a short opportunity, I will simply look at it as a retracement rather than a long term move. So seeing that I am bullish, I went down to the 1 hour time frame. And on the 1 hour time frame, price was printing very nice bullish structure. We had a structure high, higher low, higher low, and higher high. So at this point in time, price just took out the previous day high and also the hourly high. So after price makes a new high, I anticipate price to pull back, make a higher low, and then continue pushing on higher as we kind of see here. So seeing that this was potentially going to be a retracement move, I decided to look for that shorting opportunity. And when I went down to the 5 minute time frame, it looked like price was breaking structure relatively well. We've seen price here give a nice lower low. And then we've seen price after made a lower low, made a lower high, made a lower low. And then if you notice, based off my execution, I took a short here, which is basically a short right here in this area, and anticipating price to not break above this high and move on lower. So I bring this up because, like I said, it doesn't always happen in this sense, but sometimes Asia will actually be the session that creates this move. Usually we see Asia high get manipulated, meaning usually Frankfurt will take the high out, and then Frankfurt will make a new low, or at the opening of London to make a new low, and then price pulls back, and we take a short here to do something like that is ideally what we see. But sometimes Asia will make the move. So seeing that Euro USD was already starting to make the move is partially why I was kind of willing to take the risk on oil as well. Unfortunately, that oil trade did not work out. But if you notice, Euro USD did work out. So basically, once I got stopped out of oil, I was looking at Euro USD. I simply pulled my fib from swing high to swing low, which is what I think you can see from here, from this high to this low. Allowed price to pull up into premium. Took a short opportunity with the stop loss above the M1 high or the M5 high. Technically, in this case, it is the M1 high as well. And then price pushed on lower, just like that, and I can't remember exactly where I got out at. It was somewhere down here. So I didn't hold it for very long with the understanding that price was just given a retracement. So it was something like this. And then I got my profits out right here. Might have been like a 1 to 4, 1 to 4.5 or so. So once again, just took my profits here because I knew it was a retracement. I wasn't looking to hold for very long. Obviously, it would have been great to hold a bit longer. But again, understanding that it was a retracement, I didn't know how far price would have retraced. So I took my profits somewhere down here. And also, the reason why I took my profits here is because I don't like to hold two positions. Meaning, if I'm trading Euro USD, I'm not going to jump into any other pair or futures market. I like to just hold one position at a time. So around this time, which is going to be around 3:45 a.m., I went ahead and jumped over to oil. So we'll go ahead and delete this right here. So at this point, I already got stopped out. I seen price took out the sell side liquidity underneath the Asia low, and then I seen price pop its head not only above this high, but also above this high. So this was the order block that I was looking for. I was looking for price to come down to discount and then tap into this 5 minute extreme order block. So let's go back over to oil and mark that up. Once again, seeing that manipulation now gave me more confidence that price wanted to go higher here. And then I was kind of slapping myself in the back of the head for not waiting for London to open up. As you can see here, the London open is basically right there. Here's Frankfurt. Frankfurt takes out Asia's low. London opens up, pulls back to the order block, and then pushes on higher, which is basically what I broke down on Euro USD right before this. So then from here, I went down to the 1 minute time frame. And I simply just took a long off of this order block with my stop loss underneath this M1 low, which will be kind of right here. I waited for that bullish engulfing candle to form actually, and then I took an entry. At this point, after price made a new high, I did trail my stop and put it underneath, but this was after. This wasn't the original stop loss, is what I'm trying to say. I actually took a long somewhere after this bullish engulfing with a stop loss down here. But once price made a new high, meaning from here This is when I simply moved my stop loss underneath this low to minimize my risk, and then allowed price to play out. Even here, price made a higher high, higher low, higher high. And at this point, this is when I moved my stop loss to break even and then allowed it to play out. And then even here, price came down and got very close to my break even and then pushed on higher. Once price made a new high, I honestly thought this was golden. I thought this was going to run to new highs, but I simply moved my stop loss in profit to somewhere right here. And then price ended up running my stop loss in profit. So I capitalized on a little bit, but not as much as I was anticipating. Because like I said, I really thought price was ready to take off based off the higher time frame, based off the fact that we took out that hourly level of liquidity, sell side liquidity, seeing price manipulate Asia, price give a nice breaker structure, discount, boom, boom, all everything that we usually want to see. But price ended up just going the opposite direction. So took that first loss here, took a win on EU, and then took a small win here on US oil. So there was that. And then I think lastly, there's that was me holding this position even throughout the pullback, in case you guys wanted to see that. And then lastly, this was the other position that I took here on the live session. So let's go ahead and break that down because that one was actually very interesting. We were trying to trade GU. One thing I'll point out is I was preferring to trade GU rather than EU for a couple reasons. Because even on EU, I was bullish. But I did state if we are looking at EU, you'll notice that this was the 1 hour low to the 1 hour high, and then price broke underneath this low. So am I going to perceive this as a break of structure or a structural inducement? Here, obviously, I don't know what price is going to do. At this point in time, I assumed or I was more on the side of price continuing to go bullish based off the higher time frame analysis I already went over. But in this case, I have to basically choose a side in the sense, is this a break of structure or an inducement? Meaning I have to trying to find the right word for it here is I have to go through the process of figuring out if it is a break of structure or not. If I go to GU now, on GU, price never broke structure. This was the 1 hour low to the 1 hour high, and price was within the range. My bad. Price was within the range from this low to this high. So I was bullish and I didn't have to decipher is price giving me a break of structure or an inducement because price is still in bullish structure. Price has not broken the low. On EU, price broke the low. So even though I was still bullish and I would say I think this is a structural inducement, GU, I don't have to do that guesswork because price is truly in bullish structure because price is still within the range. So that's partially why I wasn't trading EU, I was trading GU specifically. And then from here, I pulled out a fib from low to high and was waiting for price to come down into discount. If you guys recall, actually, no, you guys weren't here with me during London, but during London, I was not looking too long off of here. Why was I not looking long? One, price simply gave a 50% touch, which is just equilibrium. Not to say price can't touch equilibrium and then push on higher, but usually I want to see price get into discount. And usually, if I see price touch equilibrium, usually that is going to be used as liquidity to then push down deeper into discount. I think, did I say premium? I forgot what I said, but equilibrium, price touches equilibrium. Usually, I want to see price use that liquidity to get deeper into discount before pushing it higher. But as I always state, I don't know that for sure. That's just usually what happens. But sometimes price will tap the 50 before going higher. So I could have missed that on this move, but the reason why I wasn't looking to long during London was because, again, price was at equilibrium and I'm anticipating price to come down deeper into discount. Also, as you guys know, I always state the only order block that price has to mitigate is the biggest one, which is here. And I think technically it was like a 4 or 6 hour order block right here. This last down to buy move, which will be a 4 hour order block. It's not a 6 hour or 6 hour order block. It might be a five. Right here on the five, you can see that last down move before price went up. So I bring it up because price could have just simply mitigated this order block to then push on higher. Price could have came down to some form of a breaker block if you guys use it to push on higher, but I wasn't looking at it from that perspective. I wanted to see price come into discount. Also, I wanted to refine my order block because this order block is humongous. So one of the first areas that I was looking at was actually here. And why was I looking at this one? Well, this fits within the rules of a continuation order block. If I use swing low to swing high, price is in discount, or I should say this order block is in discount. And as I zoom in to a lower time frame, we can see how price takes out sell side liquidity before pushing higher. Sell side liquidity here and sell side liquidity down here. If you notice, there's a difference between using that order block or say this order block. Does price take out sell side liquidity? No. Does price take sell side liquidity here? No. Does price take sell side liquidity here? No, it does not. So this is why I'm not using any of these order blocks other than the one that I just marked. And I'm just simply drawing the entire sell to buy move here, which most likely is going to be maybe a 45-minute order block. There it is. Sell to buy move on this time frame, I would use this high to this low. So once price tapped into here, I'm looking for longs. What do? I wait for a 1 minute break of structure. And right here, price gave a 1 minute break of structure off of this high here. So I was looking at this as the BOS. And then from here, I pulled out a fib from swing low to swing high, just like that. And as price was pushing back into discount, I was wanting to take longs. At the time, my issue was is that technically once price gives a bullish engulfing candle, I have the green light to take a long, but I have to be aware that my stop loss is going to be quite large. So if you notice here, this last bearish move is the last bearish candle before price went higher. Once price gives a bullish engulfing candle relative to here, then I can go in and take a long. At this point, this would have been my green light to take a long with a stop loss underneath the M1 low. But if you notice, this stop loss is basically 15, 16 pips. And even though this is still valid because we'd be shooting for new highs relative to the higher time frame, I will zoom out to show you guys. This is still valid for a 1 to 3. I was not liking the fact that this was a 15, 16 pip stop loss. My ideal goal is to bring that down to say maybe 10 or 5. Because if I can do something like this, you can see the RR increases significantly from a 1 to 3 to a 1 to 6, 1 to 7, 1 to 5, 1 to 4, whatever it is. So this is why I didn't pull the trigger immediately. I did point out in the live that this would be a green light to do so, but I wanted to see maybe a change of character to try to minimize my stop. And then from here, price broke above this internal high. Again, this is an internal high because it's within structure. So I'm classifying this as a change of character. And at this point, I was using this low to this high. And then I took a long off of this move right here with the stop loss down here. So if you notice, price came into discount, tapped into the extreme order block, took a long, and then price ended up stopping me out off of this wick here. And based on the way that it stopped me out, well, even before I say that, I also stated that if price were to stop me out here, does this invalidate my overall bullish analysis? No. Why? Because price is still in bullish structure. I am attempting to find the chain of character. I'm attempting to mess around with internal structure, but price can do that sounds weird. Price can do whatever it wants within structure. Meaning, if price is in bullish structure like this, price can give a complex pullback, break above, break back lower, move up and down. But but within this, price is still in bullish structure from this low to this high. As long as price maintains bullish structure, we maintain that bullish analysis. So I bring it up because this right here is my structure low to my structure high. Even if price hits my stop loss or breaks underneath the low, this does not invalidate my overall bullish bias. It does invalidate that this is truly a chain of character, because in this case, if price makes a higher high but then makes a lower low, this isn't a chain of character. This will be an internal structural inducement, or just simply put a buy side liquidity sweep. So seeing that price took out these lows down here and then gave a nice bullish engulfing candle, basically again, I went ahead and took another long position and put my stop loss underneath this low here. And if you notice, price got very close. Luckily for me, since I am trading GU futures, if I go over here, price never actually broke that low. So depending on where you put your stop loss, you may or may not have gotten stopped out. Me right here, my stop loss was underneath this wick here. And if you notice, price never broke underneath it. I had my stop loss one tick underneath, and price got very close, but never actually um, broke underneath. So once again, I bring it up because that first entry wasn't terrible. It's just my stop loss wasn't placed in the right position. But again, I didn't want to put it down there because the RR wasn't going to be as great. So then we took another position here. Remember the understanding that it doesn't mean that our bullish analysis is wrong. We are just maybe buying a tad bit too early. And then from here, we can see how price makes a new M1 low to a new M1 high, and then price continues to go on up from here. If you were trading this specific market, specifically Forex, if you had your stop loss right underneath, you would have got tagged out. But ultimately here we can see that price came for another inducement. We had an internal structural inducement because price is sweeping internal structure here. And then we had a structural inducement because at this point, this is a new structure low to a structure high. Price sweeps out the structure low before pushing on higher. So this simply was just a structural inducement. But hopefully your stop loss was at least a pip underneath. It should not have tapped. And then price pushed on up from there. And that's exactly what you guys see here. Entry somewhere over here. Price pulled back. Got very close to my stop loss, but never touched it. And then pushed on higher from here. Um, and then I was looking to take profits at the new high, which was right here, which price did. If you wanted to hold on to it and swing it, you definitely could have, but me personally, I stated that I was not going to hold and swing it. But we can see the price is maintaining bullish structure from this new low to this new high. Price gave a higher low, and then it continues to push on up. So that is basically it for today. Hopefully that all makes sense. I tried to break it down in detail. One thing I also forgot is I was utilizing DXY as well. I've been bearish on DXY. Price gave a daily low to a high, lower low. We can see how price came up into premium. We had a nice bearish wick off of here. And then I anticipate price to make a new low as we're getting very close. So hopefully today we might actually see that new low being formed. But nonetheless, I was anticipating price to make new lows. Any type of bullish price action in my eyes would be some form of a retracement. As I went down to the lower time frame, at this point in time during um this right here during New York, we can see price made a high to a low. Price pulled back, made a lower high, down to a lower low. So seeing that DXY was bearish and going lower gave me the confidence that EU and GU would also go higher as well, which is what I use to help with the confidence of my trades. If you notice, technically you didn't need it. If you just trade EU by itself, you could have read the charts as it was. But DXY does help with the analysis. Also, when you see GU looks bullish as well, that definitely helps with the analysis too. But hopefully that makes sense. If you guys have made it all the way to the end, I do appreciate you guys watching the entire video. If you guys do have any comments, questions, or concerns, please drop them down below. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.